Who's the best at eating pussy? It's Anna. I tell everyone this. Imagine you have 5 people giving you a hand job at the same time, and then you ejaculate everyone.
What's the ideal size?
Recently, I did have sex in the bathroom of a private jet.
Hey, I'm Ariel Demure.
Hi, I'm Maddie Collins. Hey guys, I'm Maya Wolf.
Hi, I'm Little Puck.
I'm Bree Mills, and you're listening to the Adult Time Podcast.
Welcome, ladies, to the Adult Time Podcast.
Woo! Thank you for having us.
I would say this is version like 3.0 at this point, but we've got a little bit of a new set, and there are more than one of you here.
Exciting.
Which is very exciting.
New set, 2 ladies.
Yes.
I feel like this is all going in the right direction.
Yes. We love this.
All right. So let me just explain real quick why we're here and what we're going to attempt to do today. So I wanted to take some of our past favorite guests and invite them back to join me on this side of the table, and also make the table a little smaller and be able to meet and bring new people onto the podcast, which is why we have ACC in the house.
I like the smaller table, easier to touch.
Ooh.
There you go. And when I asked Anna who we should interview, you chose Scarlett Alexis.
That is so sweet.
The beautiful, the profound, the dynamic Scarlett Alexis. I mean, how could I not? I was saying this a little bit earlier to her, but Scarlett not only is a great performer, is beautiful and really, really great to be around. Everyone in the industry loves her.
Blushing, guys.
But you have a really full, exciting life. So there's just a lot for people to know about you that they might not know about. So, and I love talking to you.
I love talking to you too. Well, I'm so happy to be here. I've been following the podcast, and I'm just, I'm excited.
Well, it's kind of my favorite low key when I get to meet somebody in person for the first time on this podcast. Like we were talking about before, because we actually get to sit down for like the next hour and talk.
I love that.
Yeah, which is hard to do. And I've heard so many good things about you as well. Obviously, we've had you on Adult Time and your scenes have kicked ass, and I always hear great things. But I was pretty excited when you recommended Scarlett.
Yeah, easy pick. Absolutely.
That's so sweet. I love that.
We are going to start with a game. So my first would you rather question, okay, is would you rather eat ass every single day or never have sex again?
Oh, that's so easy.
What?
Can eat ass every day. That's like a no-brainer.
Never? You're
Wait, eat ass every day or never have sex?
Which one are you choosing to do and not do?
Well, if I eat ass every day, I get to have sex, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, then there you go.
But here, hold on. Don't answer that question so easily. Okay.
I was like,
let's break this down a little bit. But okay. So, okay. When I read that question,
I got confused too. I think
is your answer also to eat ass?
Eat ass. I mean,
So okay, I'm gonna do some interrogation follow ups here. Is that any ass? Is that just like you wake up and you need to just find any ass to eat, and that you need to fill your quota for the day?
I would say within that 24-hour period.
Yes.
There's no time constraints.
No, you don't have to do it for like a particular
amount of
time, the duration.
Yeah.
I would say that the sex that I'm having that day would have to include.
Okay.
There you go.
Yeah, that's my loophole. I'm like, all right, bend it over.
Yeah.
We're starting here so that I can actually have sex with you.
Okay.
Yeah, that way it's out of your mind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's actually good too. If you can anchor the ass eating to your preferred partner for that day.
Yes.
Versus having to frantically find someone's ass to eat.
Right.
Then it makes it more enjoyable.
I guess that would mean you really would have to have a strong like roster or partner. Or, like it has to be consistent.
Yeah.
So I would have to get my ducks in a row for that.
Yeah. You'd have to have some regulars on speed dial, and if somebody flakes, you have to have some backups.
Yeah.
Separating the functions, like eating one person's ass so I can have sex with someone else seems like a really hard task.
No,
that's a lot of driving in LA.
Yeah.
Yes, that's true.
That is definitely work. Okay. So the next one is very strange.
All right.
Would you rather hear dirty talk in your ear? And let's assume it's like a steady stream at any point during the day, but multiple points during the day, you're going to be possessed by something, a force that dirty talks in your ear. And it sounds like a minion.
Okay.
Or every time you have sex, you come within 30 seconds. And it's a single come.
One only.
It's one. Yeah, I'm doing the Minion.
You're doing the Minion.
I got to take the Minion. I'm sorry. You know, sometimes that's how it is regularly, you know?
I get that. And I was thinking that at first, but constantly. I think I would go insane, more insane than I.
Once an hour, I could do.
Well, is it at constant times?
No, and I think that's what makes it worse is the fact that
If it was
at any point during the day,
Oh, okay.
you are going to hear voices. Those voices are going to say sexy things, and they're going to sound like a minion.
Okay.
And as I'm explaining this to you, it strikes me that minions don't even actually say like words, right?
Yeah.
So what would a dirty talk from a minion sound like?
Wait, prefer my word.
Okay, so that would be in yours. Was
That's
sexy
what my
though.
Minion sounds
yours
like
was
in my
sexy.
head.
Really? Yeah, that was that. Whew. Honestly, I'm really sticking with my decision. The Minion
what?
is it.
I
I can do an ASMR segment right now that, could be the next big thing.
After hearing that, I know my choice of.
And this one, Scarlett, is going to come up later on in conversation because there's a fun fact I've heard about you.
Oh.
But I don't know how you'd feel about this. Would you, once again, rather be able to never have sex, or every time you have sex, you have to do it when there's a tarantula crawling on you?
No sex ever. I would go tarantula. My tarantula has never hurt me. She's a natural born model. I've done a photo shoot with her. I set her and she just stays there. It still would be problematic and I would feel bad for her.
Fun fact
Maybe
about
I'd put it
Scarlett,
on
she
my
has a
hair.
tarantula.
Yes,
Fun
yeah,
fact.
yeah.
Fun fact.
She's 10 years old and her name is Rose.
Now, okay, so I actually, because I was discussing this question before the podcast started. Do tarantulas, now if a tarantula is placed on your shoulder and then you started to have sex, would the tarantula freeze? Or would the tarantula be like, woo, and like going all over your body?
Well, I feel like it depends on the tarantula. Like my girl's very like docile and shy. But if they get agitated, she probably would scurry around. And if she's agitated, they can throw their hairs at you, which hasn't happened to me. But
they get stuck in you like little castics.
Yeah, so you wouldn't want it to scurry to a particular area of sensitivity and then throw
and then
its
they
hairs
could
at you.
Yeah, they have fangs.
Yeah.
So,
I also always be running the risk.
You would always be at risk. I feel like the safest thing to do would be to put her in my hair and then just go doggy style and try to like
keep as
not
much
move
distance.
my head.
Yeah.
That's probably what I would do. But damn, that's hard. If I was celibate for the rest of my life, I just feel like I would be a beast. Maybe I'd be really creative, but I'd be so horny all the time.
You'd have to get it out another way.
I would have to like join some kind of spiritual practice. Yeah, I don't know.
Going for a cult. Next thing. Can't have sex. I'm in a cult. Sorry.
And they can't be sexy in the cult, otherwise that's going to cause problems.
Well, but I actually appreciate that you already have a strategy for the tarantula. Like, and I'm sitting here thinking, like, you put it in your hair, you train it not to leave.
Yeah.
You just position yourself in a way that it's just never going to get close to the goods.
Yeah, I would.
And then you'd probably get pretty used to it pretty quickly.
Yeah, probably. We all would.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Everybody. Yeah. Your Rolodex of partners that you're having to have anal sex with every day.
I'd have to have a system to where the tarantula couldn't get off, because if I'm really into it and then the tarantula gets off and I have to like place it back on, that's
gonna wreck your
flow.
But would you go tarantula?
Yeah, I'd go tarantula.
I'd take the risk.
And I would like build a box on the edge of my bed where I could just stick my hand inside of it and just have sex.
Oh, that's brilliant.
Yeah. It'd be like a hand insert box.
That's really smart.
I've been thinking about that the whole time.
See, I'm over there like, I'll just be celibate for the rest of the time. That's okay. I can think a lot about sex. We
got so creative trying to figure out the solution to this.
We can train a spider.
All right. So last question. the best question, the weirdest question. I want you to really think long and hard about this. Would you rather have penises for fingers or have a vulva for a mouth?
Gloves, penises for fingers, all day. Easy decision. And how fun. Just
Is it
party
one
time?
hand or is it both?
Oh, no, it's both.
It's both.
Yeah. And they function like penises.
Oh!
So there's a like a flaccid state. During that time, you can't really use them, you know, like they swing. And depending on how you were born, you're either, you know, they're more functional.
I saw them functioning as hands.
And then if he gets excited, well, he being you, if you get excited, they just start to expand. And once again, depending on what you were born with, they could expand to different sizes and shapes and girths.
Yeah, grower or shower. It's hard to know.
Imagine you have 5 people giving you a hand job at the same time, and then you ejaculate everyone.
Yes. Would you have 10 times the orgasm?
Oh, I wonder what that would feel like. No, what's the toe situation? They're not involved.
Toes are fine.
Okay.
Toes are toes.
Yeah, we really got to check in on that.
No. This is why these are icebreaker questions. It's because we have gone way further than the original question at this point.
So the vulva mouth, I have questions about.
Yeah.
I can speak.
Yes.
Okay. I can still speak fluently.
Absolutely. You just have a vagina mouth. Yeah.
Is the vagina like diagonal or horizontal?
It's actually somewhat closely resembling a mouth. It's just when you look, and it might be where when you come across a vagina mouth person for the first time, like somebody just seems a little different, and you need to look closely. And then now there is a lot of pubic hair, which you do need to maintain in whatever way suits you. But that is sort of what gives it away. You know?
So, but if it's resembling a mouth, then
so it functions as a mouth.
Okay.
Does it also function as a vagina?
Correct. Yeah.
Okay.
Like there's a clit.
I don't know why I'm leaning towards vulva mouth.
I'm leaning towards vulva mouth now too. Because if you don't open your mouth all the way, then they won't really know.
I would get laser probably.
Yeah.
And
little lipstick.
I would do some. I would like be the girl who has the fun, crazy makeup looks all the time. And I would probably, Halloween would be so fun.
Yeah.
You would like, you could just get creative with it.
And you can still do lip filler to make it look as if it is.
That would be.
That's true.
You can.
Yep.
And then do I have 2 vaginas? Hold on. Do I have one in my mouth and?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. We're doing the 2 vaginas.
Yes.
Wow.
Wow.
See how quickly we turned here. First we were both like penis hands.
Well, we just had questions about it.
I just immediately thought gloves, and I said that's easy to cover up. I could just be a girl with gloves.
Yeah. So if you get tag teamed with the vulva mouth, that would be interesting. So you would have to really strengthen like your neck muscles.
Yeah.
Take a pounding.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Face.
I mean, you don't need to take a pounding in the face.
Yeah.
I mean, it could function completely as a mouth. Just it happens to be a vagina mouth. But I would assume too, it may influence, your state of arousal, right? Like let's say you start
truly.
Wow. You're making me lean harder towards vagina mouth now. I like that. How fun is that?
So one of my big kicks I've been on this year in production are projects that one of our producers, Michael Vegas, coined as being porn done difficultly because they're prosthetics heavy productions.
Yeah.
And that last question has inspired at least 2 episodes of prosthetic heavy projects.
Amazing.
And I think I would go penis for fingers.
Penis for fingers?
Yeah.
Because, I mean, I guess you'd be kind of deformed when they weren't erect, but you can work on being aroused all the time to be able to type and to be able to open doors. Like you would just have to be in a permanent state of arousal. But then it would be really neat.
Yeah, it's a mind over matter thing.
Yeah.
Like getting turned on when you open a door.
Yeah. Yeah, it'd be kind of like a Jedi mind trick, right? Like grow the dicks, open the fridge.
Yeah. You could write a book if you got really good at that to teach other men how to do that with penises in the correct spot.
Absolutely. And it would be really fun at parties.
Yeah. And you could have like, I'm just the grip situation.
Yeah.
Of like, doing things.
They don't bend though.
That's no.
I didn't even think. But sometimes penises curve, right? I don't know.
Oh.
these
You
things.
clarified for me
Yeah.
that they are real penises and they don't
But they
have finger
could curve.
functions, but the mouth has a mouth and
Yeah.
vagina function.
Yeah, but the mouth does not have teeth.
Oh, well, that's.
It functions as a mouth. And let's say you have a
Oh
tongue.
my god.
But yeah, but
well,
it-
how do
I
we
bet this have
speak the same?
People without teeth.
Yeah, you've just got a little bit. You know what? Somebody, oh gosh, I was watching a TikTok with somebody the other day who doesn't have teeth and, does the sort of dentures in, dentures out before and after videos. And she referred to her mouth as her bald mouth. And I thought that was kind of like a really kind of like perverse, like a perverse or bald mouth. So you would have a bald mouth.
What? Okay, got it.
But she spoke quite well, a little bit of a lisp, but
We could
she made it
that.
work.
I guess you don't have to brush your teeth ever.
I can get around it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can get dentures that you can put in and out.
Have you ever put dentures in a vagina?
I was gonna say you probably won't fuck. You won't get your face fucked. Probably.
I think it is a high time that we move on
All right.
I could have
to finding out about you, Scarlett, and not just your inclination towards having a bald vagina mouth.
I feel like the ice has been broken.
All right, so penis hands aside. Scarlett, tell me a little bit, since it's our first time getting to know each other. What led you into becoming this amazing performer known as Scarlett Alexis?
So before I joined the industry, I worked at an art gallery. It was a very niche art gallery too. They specialized in like handcrafted, really like amazing kaleidoscopes made out of like glass and wood. Like some of them were like thousands of dollars.
That is very
like
niche.
from artists around the world. And they had other like metal art and like just tons of things. And I absolutely loved it. And I was like such a nerd about it. I learned like how all the mirror systems work. So I did that. And then I was also teaching private piano lessons at the time. So total like, change 360. But at the time I was in a relationship and we were very like open, like kind of in the lifestyle. So I had this like other side of my life and my sexuality that was just like exploring a bunch of really fun new things. And upon doing that, I ended up meeting some people in the industry and they were like, have you ever thought of, joining? And I thought that really appealed to me. So I wanted to try it. And I shot like 5 scenes for this company and I really loved it and had so much fun. Then I got an agent and then 2 months in, I like quit my jobs and just went full time with it. And this is back in Arizona. So I would travel for work. And then a year in, I decided to just go full send and move to LA. And it's been amazing. And I'm not with the person anymore, but yeah.
But variety of life. That's incredible. From kaleidoscopes to other types of scopes.
Yeah.
Look, honey, it's the first step towards realizing your dream of building a family. This is Grace, and she's gonna be able to take care of you no matter how sick you feel.
Where are you going?
I need to go shopping.
I already have everything prepared for you.
Hey, you can't drink that much caffeine. Honey, it's just not a good time. Okay, it's just not a good time.
Matthew, please.
It's just...
Maggie, just give me your hand. Give me your hand. Give it to me.
Get out of my way.
It's just fine.
Get out of my way.
What's her temperament like?
Worrying.
Not good.
I want you to make me a mother.
Let's take some time to think about it.
I want you to make me a mother.
What do you think?
I don't want you here anymore. I want you to make me a mother.
You're not supposed to be doing this. You know you're on bed rest.
I want you to make me a mother.
We're gonna have to make a decision in her perineum.
I want you to make me a mother.
There you go, Mama. You're doing such a good job.
I want you to make me a mother.
Laura, you are fully dilated. All right, it is time for you to start pushing.
I want you to make me a mother.
I know how sacred motherhood is. You're bringing a baby into this world. Isn't that just so special?
Okay, so I have a question because, like, and this is mostly like, I feel like I kind of like have traditionally, despite what I do for a living, am like a very vanilla person.
Okay.
So for those out there who might also be vanilla, like when you talk about the lifestyle,
Sure.
and also how does one, I don't remember lifestyles presenting themselves to me as a person coming, into the world. Like, how does one discover life? Yeah. What is a lifestyle? How do you discover
Just get a phone call? Like, what's going on?
That's a good question. Well, I guess the guy I was with at the time, he was the one who kind of like opened that up for me and was like, would you be interested in like having a threesome with another guy type of thing? Mm-hmm. And I thought like, what are the odds that I'll be with someone who is like this open and is cool with it? So I guess he introduced me to it. I don't know his origin story, how he got into it, but
it's hard to say no to getting two dicks in the same room.
I was like, yeah. So my first threesome was with another guy. Yeah. So yeah, I guess it just got presented to me and I embraced it.
It was kind of the same for me, honestly.
Oh, really?
I lived in Colorado and my boyfriend at the time had made some good friends with a polyamorous couple. And one of them was a flight attendant. And she's hot. I mean, she would just travel and come back with stories that she would tell us and her husband very openly. And
amazing.
Eventually we'd meet some more of their friends, which kind of led to this community of individuals that we created, which kind of felt like a lifestyle. And I think that's why we call it the lifestyle, when reality it's just living.
That's a good point. And I feel like it can be different for everyone. Like, for instance, we never went to like swinger clubs. I feel like that's the first thing that comes to mind for people, but it was kind of like yours. It was just like people that we knew and just,
we're comfortable with it. Felt kind of like porn.
Yeah. In a way.
Where I have like 20 people that I could fuck whenever I wanted. Like a nice, safe, friendly roster that is not going to try to date me.
Yeah.
Well, I guess that's true. Like, there's always people that look in on the industry and they're like, oh, you're like fucking hundreds of thousands of people. It's like, nah, it's kind of like the same people. 20 people.
Yeah. Right. Body count has stayed the same.
Yeah.
Like, since after the first year, we're stuck at whatever number I'm at.
Yeah. Do you count?
No.
Me neither. I'm like, I just never count. That way no one knows, including myself. And it's just not an issue.
What would you wager to guess?
Like a big jar of M&M's.
Yeah.
Just
a good answer.
I'm so bad at like gauging numbers.
Like you said, after you've kind of fucked everyone in that's, that you want to fuck within the industry, those that stick around or this become the repeats, right? Yeah. And then who you end up getting cast with. So what was your first, you mentioned you did a couple of scenes and you really liked it. Like, what was your first experience on a set like, and why did you love it?
Yeah. So I remember the first thing I noticed was how bright all the lights were. Because I was used to just having sex in a home, not being like all lit up, So that was one thing I had to get used to.
You can see everything.
Exactly. Yeah. I feel like I have kind of the right disposition for the job because it didn't really bother me that there was like people there, like the people on set. I felt very comfortable, pretty comfortable in my own skin. The interesting thing is I didn't know much about the porn world and as far as like building a career. So they just asked me like, oh, do you do this? Do that? Like, do you do anal? Do that? I was like, yeah, I do that. So my first scene was an anal scene. Yeah. And then it was great. It was great.
And you've done anal in your private life before?
I had, I'd been DP'd in my private life. I explored a lot. So
it was an active lifestyle.
My first 5 scenes, I did anal. I did, actually Isiah Maxwell was one of my first people that I worked with.
Shout out to Isiah.
And that was lovely. That was so lovely. Yeah.
Yeah. Isiah's so sweet.
Yeah.
Adult Time loves Isiah.
I did a DP. And it was with Alex Mack. And I don't remember the other person's name. I don't think he was around. He was very he kind of just stayed. Yeah. This was in Arizona. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, it was fun. And it was like, this is fun. Like, this is what I'm already doing. And it's fun to have it be on a set. I like the idea of getting filmed, and I'm making money too. So I was like, this is pretty sweet.
No, I love it. You didn't walk in the door. You kicked it down. Like, I mean, honestly, like you said, you're girl first. No, stick it in
And
my
actually,
ass.
they did. I was supposed to do a girl for one of those first scenes, and then it got canceled, and I was really bummed about that. But
It's funny because when I've been like producing in the industry for about 10 years at this point. And I remember when I got in and started producing, there was a really kind of like unspoken rule for performers where like you get in and you're going to do a period of time only shooting with girls or solos, and then you're going to take this step and then you're going to take that step. And I remember that was just what I was that was just how it was.
yeah.
And what I'm so happy to see has happened over the time, especially as, performers are coming in, kicking down doors, like having like a real sense of like what they want to do, the career that it can be. And like, if you want to shoot an anal scene, you don't have to wait a particular amount of time. You can do it. And if you don't want to shoot one, you don't ever have to do it. Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. But it's such a different space now than it was.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it was, I mean, like there's just so many ways you can go about being in the business now. And of course there's like certain perks to like, waiting. They maybe pay you a special rate for like your first anal scene. So I missed out on that. But also I got to shoot anal throughout my whole career, and that was pretty sweet. So.
Yeah. What are your favorite types of scenes to shoot now?
That's tough because I love all the different kinds for different reasons. Like I love anal, so I love shooting anal, and like Gonzo's fun because you can just show up and be super hot and then just start fucking. I also really enjoy acting, so I really enjoy whenever I have an opportunity to do more of like a future style kind of thing. And I love a really fun creative project, and then I like humorous ones, which like when I have to do more taboo kind of stuff. In my mind, it's usually like very comical. Yeah. And so like that's fun in its own right too. Mm-hmm. So it's hard to say. I also love girls. Like I'm bi. So I love a boy, girl. I love a girl. It's really hard.
Yeah. You just like all the scenes. I like it. You just like all the scenes. Would you say that you're more sensual of a performer? Or
I would say that's more so how I go about it. Like I've never really tried to be like the whole porno girl like act that you put on, or like changing your voice and like things like that. I try to be pretty authentic to myself. If I have a character or something, then I might, have fun and lean into it a little bit. But I like just like sensual, like I try to be present and just like really enjoy it and like hope it like reads on camera.
Yeah. I mean, that's probably also why you like so many different types of scenes, because you stay authentic to who you are for every type of scene.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah,
absolutely. And she definitely is a sensual performer. I've had sex with her.
It's so good.
I was gonna say. I
didn't need to ask that question.
I'm a huge fan of Anna. I tell everyone, like I've told so many people this. Whenever one asks me like, who's the best at eating pussy? It's Anna. I tell everyone this.
Okay, so Anna, what are your tips?
Yes, I have had men ask me, what is it that she does that's so good so I can be better?
I ask questions. My number one question I ask a woman before I eat her pussy is, how often do you use her Hitachi? If she uses her Hitachi a lot, that lets you know how much sensitivity is going on down there. Because if she uses it all the time, if she says all the time, then I'm gonna need to
the pressure
rear it up. I'm gonna need to take the pressure up a notch. I stick my whole chin in it if I have to. Like I'm freaking and
stick my chin.
No, I'm gonna stick my whole chin in it. That's what I did to Scarlett. She loved it.
She loves it. No, it's just because that is such a true move that doesn't often get discussed.
Put your chin in it. Yeah. It's not just, and that's another thing is people act like pussy eating is only with your mouth. I'm using my entire head. My whole head. I am just full on. And also, I just like it. Like, it reminds me a lot of how the sensuality of making out can be.
Totally.
So it's if you take that same headspace of like, I'm making out with this person, it's just a different part of their body, and then adding in the things that they like, I feel like you'll get there eventually. And, women are patient.
Yes.
Women are patient. They will let you keep on trying.
That's true.
And also too, it's like it oftentimes takes a little bit of time. Like you need to work up, you need to, and as the person that's the giver, you can't be panicking. You can't be checking the clock and like, why haven't you have to just feel for the signals and lean in at times and all that stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's the making out thing is kind of interesting because I feel like, do you make out a lot in life now, or do you feel like that's kind of been lost a little bit?
I'm a big fan. I have a very big oral fixation. So I personally am a very big fan of making out.
I'm a big fan of making out too. So if I like someone, like we're making out.
Absolutely. So for me, that is something that I do a lot. I know what you mean though, because there are some times where I'll be in a scene and it's not that they don't like it, but it's obvious it's not their favorite thing.
Sure.
They're more into something. But again, you're a really sensual performer. So, and I also like being a sensual performer. It's just, that's kind of a part of it is like building it up, the tease, the action of it all, really just leading to the orgasm instead of just the orgasm.
Yeah.
Right. And it's a whole other like sensual experience that you're tapping into aside from just like penetration or something.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I can come from not penetration. Can you come from?
I can. Yeah.
Exactly. So I think that's a big thing too.
Yeah.
So the two of you at some point in the future will have to book a scene where you all can just focus on demonstrating that. Well, but I asked because it seems like whenever we're doing our consent conversations, right? Number one thing that will come up on yes list are like, I love kissing. But it seems like when cameras roll, it gets kind of lost. I think just maybe it's headspace. Like, okay, I got to get from this to this, or we got to move, but it's always like one of the things that fans ask, like, oh, I wish there was more than 30 seconds of kissing. Yeah. But it's a hard thing to end up sort of following through on, I find, on sets. And I don't know why, because I know it's always at the top of everybody's like yes list. And we just kind of like lose it in the shuffle or like just getting everything done, I guess.
Yeah. One thing I remember specifically about you, Scarlett, is when we were kissing, she wasn't just kissing me. She grabbed me by the face and looked at me in the face. Then kissed me.
Yeah.
It wasn't an action of like, okay, now we start to kiss. It was I'm about to kiss you. I want you to be very aware and present.
Yeah.
I love,
So I remember that specifically.
I love doing like you just like staring into each other's eyes and you like brush a little hair away from their face. Pull in their chin.
Yeah.
She's like, oh man, next question.
I know what we're going to be writing.
Anna Claire Clouds puts her chin in Scarlett.
Yeah. We are going to invent a new position that will go viral called the chin fuck. You've heard of the dove fuck, but have you ever heard of the chin fuck?
We like having our pussy like that. So try it at home.
Yeah. A 69 with chins. Like a chin. What would that be called? Would you rather?
Amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Okay, so it's good to know that you like a bride, but authenticity is something that's super important to you. Like if you could have a dream scene, especially since you are someone who's so creative, what would your dream scene be?
I feel like I would have to put a lot of thought into that before giving an answer, but I would want it to be very pretty. I would want it to be a very, you know how like writers, if a really good writer really like paints a picture and even though you're just like reading a book, it's like you're there and you can feel everything. I would want to like, and I would have to put time into it, but I would want to give that kind of experience to the people watching. So like really close up shots of, I just would want them to really feel like they're there and have it really be very pretty. I don't know.
Yeah, exactly.
It's time to play.
Today, I have a breaking news scoop for you, and it is an all-girl showdown going down. On one hand, we have the Cougar Queens of Chaos, led by the fierce and the fearless Raven.
Hoedown, throwdown.
And on the other hand, we have the Mothers of Mantis, commanded by the bold and the brilliant Blaze. All right, bitches, you know what to do. These badass bims are ready to throw down and show the city what they're made of. So queens, mothers, I challenge you to strap on your gear and head over to that whorehouse. It's time for you to come out and play.
Fucking lesbians.
Hey, why don't you guys show this city that you can slay together?
I hear that you are also a big fan of food. You're
I
a
love
foodie. So moving to LA probably
was lovely.
okay.
Has
What's
been
your
lovely.
like what are some of your favorite spots to hit in LA?
One of my favorite places is a French spot, Petit Trois.
Mm-hmm.
So good. Like their butter, because there's a few French spots, but from what I've found, they're the only ones that like make their own butter.
Mm-hmm.
And like if the butter is amazing and the bread and they have that down, you know that like the rest is just going to be phenomenal.
Yeah.
So that's one of my favorite spots. Trying to think of other places. I also really love cooking. I'm really bad at remembering names too. And there's like little hole in the wall places that I've been to that are just amazing. I'm trying to think.
Are you a big fan of French food?
I do love French food. Yeah.
There's a place called Rousseau Bleu that is Rousseau. I don't know if it's Rousseau Bleu, Rousseau Bleu. Don't stick me in a corner for it. I don't know. But it is another really good French place.
I'll have to check that out.
I'm vegan,
Mm-hmm.
but I tried their butter.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Didn't make me sick, and also so freaking good. Worth the possibility of being sick. Very, very worth it. So
I'll
big
have to
fan.
check that out. What part of LA is it in?
I think it's got to be like 30, 40 minutes from you. It's like
Okay.
LA.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Cool.
I find that like if I were to be asked what's like my favorite, what cuisine could I eat the most of, I probably would say French.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it just kind of has a little bit of it. It's like how they prepare it is what really makes it. And
Yeah,
yeah.
it's very rich. It's
Yes.
very like it is very, like creamy and buttery.
Yes.
I am unfortunately not a vegan, so it's got a lot of like meat dishes, which I like.
Yeah.
But it's also just got, like everything pairs well with wine. It's just like
Right.
good. It's a good. You could kind of eat it any day of the week and like it. Yeah.
And be happy.
And you love French is doing it the right way, because in the morning they go downstairs, they get a cup of coffee and a whole loaf of focaccia.
Yep.
And that's breakfast.
Amazing.
I mean,
Amazing.
right.
With good butter.
The best breakfast I've ever had was in the south of France, and it was a cafe au lait and a piece of baguette with butter. And they, for whatever reason, in France are obsessed with fresh squeezed orange juice and like fresh squeezed orange. And just like as simple as that is, I think I ate like 4 rounds of that morning because it was just so good.
Yeah. And just like fresh fruit or like pastries.
Well, now I'm hungry.
I'm so hungry.
Horny, hungry, what's
Horny,
next?
hungry, penis hands.
Yeah, horny, hungry, penis hands. Confused.
So tying back to a important question here, as a foodie, we are curious to know, both myself and my whole team, have there been any scenarios so far in your porn career where you have incorporated food into the scenes, or even just in your private life?
I don't think I've done enough food play. I haven't done enough food play. I've just recently realized I like temperature play, like ice cubes, things like that. There is this really random thing though one time, and that I guess it's considered food. And I just have this random idea.
Wait a second.
I guess it's considered food.
This is your dream scene.
Okay.
It's all coming.
So, speaking of food, like whenever, like growing up, I'd go to like a sushi place or something. I just love soy sauce, and I would just like, not very sanitary, but I'd like dip my finger and just like lick it off, and I just loved it. And I was like, what if? And this probably is not hygienic at all, but I was like, what if I told this guy, like, he didn't do it. He was like, I was like, what if you just like dipped your penis in a bunch of soy sauce? And then I sucked it off.
That would be a salty penis.
It would be very salty. So
so would you rather? So, okay, So that to you, that is
I was
that is
like,
an,
I would
that is
be
an
into
appealing.
That was sounds
scenario.
appealing. Yeah.
And to you, that is not an appealing.
I mean, I just got questions. Circumcised or uncircumcised? Like, what was going on with his?
Oh, he
particular-
was not circumcised.
Okay.
Oh,
I think-
no, he was circumcised. Sorry.
Okay,
Gotta get my
uncircumcised. I
dicks
think
straight.
you'd get a lot more soy sauce.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
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 You could load that up.
I got
like a shooter.
One.
Like a shooter.
But do you want a shot of soy sauce, or do you want just the sort of flavoring, the salt of soy sauce?
For me, neither. But for me, neither. But I'm thinking from the perspective of Scarlett, who loves soy sauce.
Yeah.
So I'm going for opening the foreskin, loading it up in there, shutting it like a balloon, and just shooting it in front.
So brand
That sounds
ambassador,
fun.
brand ambassador Tommy Pistol
He would do it.
would do
Really?
100%.
Dream scene.
So
Okay.
in the building of your dream scene, the only male talent I can think of who would just not only be able to pull it off, but enthusiastically.
Okay, I have an idea now.
Okay.
Okay, I forget what it's called, but you know how there's the naked ladies with the sushi on them?
Mm-hmm.
I do it, Tommy.
Yeah.
The sushi's on Tommy.
Yes.
I'm eating sushi off of him, and then we do the soy sauce shooter.
Hi, Tommy, wherever you are. I'm going to look into the camera. Wherever you are. No, there may be a booking in your future for this type of thing.
Please say yes. Please say yes. This is for me. I'm the viewer.
Anna would like to watch this.
Custom request.
Adult Time is now doing customs within the community.
Yeah, within the community.
Yeah, you can request.
That's crazy.
All right, so okay, good. I'm glad that we got to that place that we kept it weird. We also got weird earlier talking about tarantulas.
Mm-hmm.
So, but in all sincerity, you're an animal lover.
Yes, I am.
And you have you have like a little zoo at home.
A 4.
Okay, so
Yes.
tell us about your
My zoo.
menagerie.
So I have, I'll start with the non-traditional ones.
Yes.
So I have a tarantula. She's 10 years old. Her name is Rose.
Right.
She brought her from Arizona. It was kind of a cute story, like how I ended up having her. During the winters, we would just see tarantulas.
Mm-hmm.
And we would like keep them in the winter just because it's cold. I don't know. And so I'd go to the pet store all the time and I'd feed them. So the pet store people knew me and they were like, there's this guy who wants to rehome his tarantula and you're the only person we could think of. So that's how I got Rose. And like we would release the other ones, but I kept her.
How old was she when you got her?
I think like if I can do my 5. I think she's like 5 or 6.
They've had her for 5 years?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And recently we went through this thing because she's full grown. The females live 12 to 20 years. Yeah. The males 8 to 10. And that's partially because half the time, like they're smaller and the females will kill them a lot of times after they mate.
We get it.
Yeah.
How big is Rose?
She's like this big.
Ooh. Okay.
Yeah. She's like this big.
Is
Body or leg? Sorry. Body or
Like leg and body.
leg and body. Okay.
That's her butt's like this big.
do you feel like Rose like knows you?
I feel like she does. Like if you go on some people don't think tarantulas can really sense you or like at all, but I feel like we have a connection.
Mm-hmm.
She's very calm. Like when I've handled her, we do this cute little thing. I call her legs paws because they're furry, where she'll stick her paw out and then I'll stick my finger out and it's like we're holding hands.
Mm-hmm.
And I actually have a photo of this because I did a photo shoot with her and it was so cute. So I feel like we have a relationship. I feel like she knows who I am, but we went through this thing recently where she went on a hunger strike for 10 months. And that was really stressful. And
so how long, what is a spider supposed to eat? What's the amount? What is the correct time for that?
So usually I would feed her like when she was younger, like once a week or like twice a month. So like every week or every other week.
10 months is a lot then.
So yes, but even though that's like healthy, like they can assume where their food's coming, they can go months without eating. Like they have the ability
Can live
to.
off of their
Yeah, like it might stress them out, but like
Yeah.
they can go a long time without eating. So I was looking stuff up and I guess it's normal, but when they're full size, they can go that long. But I've wasted so many worms because they don't sell like one worm at a time. It's
No,
like
you gotta
40.
buy the-
So if she's not eating, and I have to keep trying because, you know,
You're
so
a good mother.
yeah, but when I stuck that, I put it in there fully expecting her to just ignore it like she was doing for almost a year. And then she went for it. And I was just over the moon. I was like bouncing around my apartment. I was like, oh my God, it's finally happening.
And is it a full worm or do you prepare? Sorry, I don't even know.
We're really curious.
We are curious.
So it's a live worm.
Yeah.
So I'm not cutting it.
Yes.
Or anything.
Yeah.
And it's like this big. I get the super worms. I've tried different worms. I used to get these blue ones that look like Avatar colors. It's cool. But yeah, it's like this long. If they're too big, she doesn't like that. You know.
Yeah.
I used to do crickets, but that can hurt them potentially, like the jumping legs. And with the worms, they get more moisture in their diet.
But things that are live and moving, so they can like.
So that they can
be
hunt.
aware.
Yes.
Yeah, hunt it.
Which will bring me to my next pet, and that is Lily, my albino gopher snake.
So, Isabel, how have you been feeling? Nothing out of the ordinary? No recent changes? Okay, well, let's start with daily routine and how it's impacting you. What did you do this morning? Were you thinking about Anna? Maybe. You seem to be making a lot of progress. You seem very happy.
Okay.
And she's like 1.5 now. And I feed her live mice because the alternative is frozen mice.
Yeah.
And you have to, some people microwave it or just like let it thaw. And to me, that is like, I feel like it's way more humane for them to just hunt and like do it naturally.
There's a lot of room for error for the snake too. Like, you know, you don't want to give a snake a frozen.
I don't know
there's a
why
lot of
that's
room
just
for error.
so unsettling to me.
Yeah.
More than like a live feeding.
Yeah. I mean, for me, it's just a no.
It's just a no.
It's just a straight up no.
I love snakes. I think
snakes are cool.
I grew up with snakes. I love snakes. And I also agree. I think a live feeding for everyone involved is a little bit more humane. It's quicker too.
Yeah, that too. Yeah, I mean, I used to be so scared of snakes and spiders growing up, but just being exposed to them more. Like when I first held a snake, I just felt like we connected in a very unique way. Like I like how their skin feels and they can like feel your blood pressure. Like, I don't know, but I'm very connected to my snake. It's been a journey because I got her as a baby. So I've been having to domesticate her myself, which in the past I've only held like friend snakes that were like grown and chill. So that's been really interesting, but we're very like psychically connected.
Yes.
Like I have dreams about her all the time.
Yeah.
It's strange.
And it's because she's coming into her dreams. It's not because of it. That's why you're psychically connected. It's the snake coming into Scarlett.
So recurring dream with the snake.
Yes, her and just like snakes in general, but like specifically of her and then her and other snakes.
Yeah.
Like I'll like ask ChatGPT, what does this mean?
Is it now? Okay. Because I have a recurring dream about I had my first sort of pet I ever had as a adult was a ferret.
Okay.
And this was, like late teens, early 20s. And he lived a good long time for a ferret. He was like 8 years old or something. But I was definitely young and fairly irresponsible for like a portion of the ferret's life. And every so often, whenever I am feeling guilty about anything, I know when I'm feeling guilty because I will have a reoccurring dream where at some point in the dream, the ferret will appear and it will be like, my gosh, like you've been alive this whole time and I didn't take care of you. Like that's the kind of like the guilt of like, I've neglected this now like 30-year-old ferret, from my past. So I always am interested about when pets pop up in dreams, because for me, it's like such a narrative.
Yeah.
So does your snake appear for any particular reason in your dreams or just random?
Is your snake giving you guilt as well?
Are you guilty about your snake?
Well, I've had different kinds of snake dreams. And that's the only pet of mine that I dream about too, which is kind of interesting. The first dream I had about her was that the bulbs in her tank were like too hot for her, and she was like burning and hissing. And I'm not sure what that meant, but I think I did change the kind of bulbs I was using. I was like double checking. I was like, is she okay? She was fine, but that was the first one. And then I've had some really strange ones where there's like, after that point, there's always more than one snake. There's her and there's other snakes. And I had one where like the snake would like merge, like two snakes would like merge into one. And like some very graphic ones I can't remember the details of now. And then other ones where she's there and then they're like escaping. And then like I was in the storm and then there was giant snakes and I was just like grabbing onto these giant snakes. And I don't even know. So
it's not some storyline based, some guilt based. You know,
maybe. I feel like you like the fact that you've you've been attempting to domesticate the snake, which is a first time experience for you.
Yeah.
Probably there's a lot of
I think there's anxiety
and responsibility and
I think that's what it is.
Yeah.
That would make a lot of sense. Yeah. And then also they say like snakes do represent like transformation with them shedding the skin and things like that.
Morphing into each other as they are.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think if I really did a deep dive, like there could be like some spiritual lessons there.
Okay, rapid fire. This is how we end things, with a bang. I'm going to ask you a series of questions. I want you to answer honestly and to the best of your ability. What's the ideal size?
The bigger side of average. The bigger end of average.
Okay.
I'm going to leave it generic.
Just generic. Okay.
For me, bigger end of average too, to much larger than average. I like, you know. Yeah. There's some room. There's some room there. I'm an equal opportunity type of girl.
Yes.
Do you remember the best orgasm you've ever had?
I don't personally, but I've had a lot of orgasms.
Okay, so when I asked that question, what was the orgasm that you thought of?
Nothing. That's why.
And that is what it's like to be a woman. Thank you guys so much for watching the Adult Time Podcast.
I've had great orgasms. I just can't think of one.
Yep. Maybe they were so good that they just immediately erase from your memory.
Yeah, that must be how that works.
Yeah, it's gotta be. It's hard for me to put things in category, like numerical category, because I would say I've had a cluster of very, very good orgasms with certain people that always give me really good orgasms.
I would say people come to mind, but not like a certain moment.
Yes.
Without putting anyone on the spot and without leaving anyone out, who are some of those folks on the list? Anybody you'd be willing to share?
Ricky Johnson always makes me come really hard. Really hard.
Shout out to Ricky.
Yeah, shout out to Ricky. Xander's great too. Seth Gamble makes me come really hard. Isiah Maxwell, Alex Jones. Those are some guys that I think of. There's a guy that I'm fucking that's not in the industry now that makes me come really hard.
Good for him.
Good for him.
Good for him.
Yes. Girls, also, I could name off a ton of Scarlett. You made me come really hard. There's just a lot of people that I could really list off. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of people too.
Casey Calvert fucked the shit out of me in a video not long ago.
Brand ambassador Casey Calvert.
So good.
Yep.
Really good.
I would
very good. Yeah, it was a great scene. What about you?
For me, I would say Owen Gray.
Oh, yeah. I feel bad for not saying that. Owen's so good.
It's hard to think after I say his name.
Yeah.
So let me just...
Maybe one of those best orgasms happened during that
time.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Moving on. Other people.
Yeah.
Isiah Maxwell's another really great one.
Was great.
And Dante Cole has been another great one for me. Other people, well, you for sure. Yes. Best female orgasm, hands down. Cody Steele has been a good one for me. Yeah. There's a lot of great people. We're lucky girls.
Yeah, we are lucky girls. That's a hard question to ask us because we're coming a lot.
Yeah, but it's a nice variety of good names, great people. What's your favorite role play scenario? And that can be either just like you have a lot of fun with it, or it's like a personal kink, like either or both.
Okay, the personal one I might not be allowed to say.
Yes, okay.
The personal one I'm gonna have to keep to myself.
Keep it
for
YouTube friendly.
But my favorite like role play to play is I one of the two. I like where I'm kind of mean, and then all of a sudden I'm being like dommed, or I'm kind of nice and all of a sudden I'm being dommy. So one like
the
super
change.
shifts. Yeah, I love this shift in power. I like that within myself, not like within other people. I like a shift in like power exchange in myself, where like I'm really big and strong, and then all of a sudden I'm like
humbled.
Oh no.
We have a whole series called Switch, which it's a lesbian series, but it's all about characters that are kind of going from submissive to dominant.
I love that.
I love that role play. What about you?
I would say like for guys, I tend to be more sub, but I've kind of branched out more, and I wouldn't say it's not necessarily dom. It's more like bossy.
Yeah,
and that I really enjoy.
Bossy,
where it's just like I know what I want and I'm gonna get it type thing, and then I need you to do this.
Rat summer baby.
Yeah.
So hear me out. It's a office environment after hours.
Okay.
We have a bossy boss. We have an unruly subordinate that you have to correct with your chin. And halfway through getting chin fucked, you realize, oh my gosh, I want to do it back. And you switch and you dominate.
Yeah.
And that's the first episode of Chin Fuckers.
I love that. Sign me up. What are you doing after this?
I'm free.
All right. What's the craziest place you've ever had sex?
In a tree.
Whoa, that's cool.
In the snow. In a tree. In the snow.
Wow. How tall was the tree?
Pretty tall.
Are you up in the tree?
I was tied to the tree.
Ah.
Whoa, that's even cool.
That's great fun.
And was it planned? I have questions now.
Well, when we got there, I said, wow, look at this tree. They had a belt.
Not necessarily premeditated.
That's the word I was looking for.
That's my.
That's so funny. I haven't had too many crazy places, but recently I did have sex in the bathroom of a private jet. So I'm part of the Mile High Club.
Wait, I haven't had too many crazy places.
But now I have.
Recently?
Yeah, this was on the way to X-Biz Miami. No, on the way back.
Yeah.
That's cooler than a tree.
I don't know. I think yours is cool. Yours is way more. Mine, it's like everyone's, like people have done it.
I haven't done that.
Well, you will.
I
see this in your future.
That is so cool. And I'll fuck you in a tree if you want.
Please. But there has to be snow.
Okay.
Mine was waiting in line at a T-Mobile. So like it's not nearly,
that's
not nearly as cool.
Wait, what?
No,
waiting in line at a T-Mobile.
Waiting in line at a T-Mobile.
That's pretty hot.
Yeah.
That's pretty hot.
Yep.
Huh.
Yeah.
Just the key to successful public sex is just make eye contact with the people you're not having sex with while doing whatever you're doing and act totally fine, like totally normal.
That actually did it even more for me. Yeah. Just looking at everyone and pretend like that.
Just ordering your phone while you're finger banging somebody.
Hot.
It was a different time.
And honestly, not to sidetrack, but that's what I imagined a free use scene to be like.
Yeah.
That's nothing against what the genre is now, but that's what I imagined.
Yeah.
As in, like, we're both aware what's going on.
We're just doing something. But the cashier is not aware.
We're not hiding it.
Yeah.
Right.
We're hiding it, but we're not hiding it.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's like an interesting point. I feel like that makes it hotter. The awareness makes it hotter.
The us being aware and them not.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
Exhibitionist dream.
There you go. 100%. Although I wouldn't consider myself at all an exhibitionist. So that was just a weird time and space.
You're like, how did I get here?
I mean, it was sort of like, hey, here we are.
Can't say no to
Can't say no. I can't say no to fingering or to T-Mobile. Are you? Do you prefer to give or receive?
That's really hard.
I answered a couple first. You gotta go. You gotta go.
If I had to pick, I will go with give.
I think I would have to say give too. And this, I know that I know how to give in a way that I like. And sometimes might not be able to receive in a way that I like. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I can always, it doesn't matter who I'm with, I can always give in a way that gets me off. For sure. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
That's true. You're kind of able to take control of the situation.
Yeah.
And that's sometimes it's not a bad thing to have.
That's true.
We are women and we love control.
All right. Last rapid fire. Do you have any specific pre-scene rituals? Pro tips.
Take a shower, number 1. Relax. I don't stress about work. And this is, my anal has been better than ever with this one tip. Because stress, your body locks up. Relax. Listen to some nice music on your way to work. That's hygiene and a good attitude, I guess, for me.
Yeah. I love a yap. I have a little yap session right when I get in. I just love to yap. I come in and I just yap. And I'm very, of course, excited for the sex. But if I'm aware that I'm going to be able to come and yap with you guys, I mean, that's probably my pre-scene ritual is yap.
I like that. The people make the day. Job. And that is one thing I love going to work where like I know like who's going to be on set and just like saying hi to everyone and catching up with what everyone's up to in their lives.
Yeah, exactly.
It's always nice.
Well, in many ways too, right? It's like kind of like our social circle. So you get to like, do work, but also hang out with people you like, catch up with people you still see like every so often.
Right. Yeah.
So when you said yap, I'm like, what is this thing called yap? Is this a drink?
I am the dean of Yap University, baby. That's active student, and now I own it.
Well, it's been really fun yapping with both of you today.
Yes, it's really
so thank you guys. Appreciate it. Thank you all.